Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Oprah is like really, really rich. She is super rich. And now, someone like Oprah, you know she does it because she enjoys the job, right? It's not like she's waking up every day. I mean, obviously, making money is a good thing. But making money and not making money is almost the same thing, right? It's not like, I mean, unless you're super poor and you can't afford food, that's obviously devastating. But when you can afford things, and you can afford a lot of things, there's not much difference, right? Like, and the more you can afford, of course, the easier it is. But let's say you're making 60,000 a year. I'm not making that much, but let's say you're making that much. Then you can afford things, right? Like that's not a bad wage. You're doing pretty well. It's not like you're starving. You're doing quite well. You're doing better than the majority of the population. So you're doing quite well, right? Now, if you are making, let's say, 2 million a year, then you're thriving, right? But the thing is, when you get to 60,000 a year, and let's say you're not a YouTuber at 60,000 a year, right? Let's say you just need your needs like your food and your entertainment and your housing, maybe 70,000 a year would be better, but 60,000 a year is pretty decent, right? Like you can afford to manage yourself quite well on that. I mean, the only difference really is you kind of want to retire without having to worry about money at all. But I mean, if you're making 60,000 a year, you can save and you can get. Some people get a pension at that rate, right? So I mean, you can save and do decent. It's not like that bad. And I make less than 60,000 a year, a lot less. But when you're talking about 60,000 a year, you're basically saying you're making a decent wage and you're making money and you are, it's not like you're doing badly, right? It's not like you're doing quite good, you're doing quite good. So, if you aren't a YouTuber or TikToker, then you don't even need that many outfits, right? Like for me, that's where I spend my money. I don't have any money. I can't even afford food sometimes. So I spend on outfits, right? My outfits are cheap. They're not that expensive. But it's still, it's a lot of outfits. So if you don't need that, let's say you don't even look that good and you don't care about looks, then you're not going to worry about investing in like beauty queen garb, right? Anyway, once you get to a certain point, yeah, it's better, but it really isn't the be all end all. I mean, obviously you want to make at least 100,000 a year, but the majority of people will never see that kind of money, right? So, if you're thinking 100,000 a year is a good wage, yeah, that is a good wage. But like I said, the majority of people won't see that kind of money. So, um, but like let's say you're making 100,000 a year, and like, that's still a low enough wage. It's not like a celebrity wage, right? So let's say you're making 100,000 a year, which is a high wage. Like top, I guess the top 1% of the population makes that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty high, right? So like, okay, so that's pretty high. But let's say 50,000 a year, right? If you're making 50,000 a year, you can still afford things, right? What's wrong with that, right? So it's not like it's that bad. You can afford things, you can buy stuff. Like I said, if you're not a YouTuber or TikTok, you don't need fancy things. But of course, the more is better, of course. And I recommend you guys follow your dreams. Make your dreams happen, darlings. Bye now. Thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.